a few times. Looking back. That was before the little open house.
Just Miles and I think who's on with Space T? I don't think it's Dawn today.
How many people? He said his last email was 3.
Yeah.
I think his manager is, and I forgot.
And
I'll tell him to follow up.
tonight,
Okay.
Tonight, now, immediately.
in 5 minutes.
We won't start the meeting until you're done.
Yeah.
It won't be the first time I got distracted by text.
Tony, you can answer this question even.
Oh, I can answer. It just might not be right.
Well, Isaac won't answer it. What is something in your life that you do that's an activity, your favorite thing that's a little higher up that you would never give up?
Oh,
Just going to the beach.
Let me
camp.
word it a different way.
Swimming in the
Beach,
ocean?
Like,
Going
yeah,
to the beach,
like getting out of town, going, I mean,
like
that's,
shark attack, like.
I mean, I'm not saying it's dangerous. I love riding motorcycle, but I got rid of mine because it's too dangerous.
Okay, so that's my example, but you don't give it up.
I just put in a lottery ticket for you to cut a scrambler. I need another motorcycle.
There you go.
I don't know.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, but I don't have a motorcycle right now. I get the same boat. I got rid of one, but now I need a new one.
We
But
need a
it's-
lot of paramedics
But it's
to really
smaller.
service.
I know.
But I think my mountain bike.
Do you know how to-
Oh,
I'm totally by the
Yeah.
way. I don't know. My mountain bike, I've been hurt the most hunting birds. Big bird, mountains like that.
that's
They
good.
shot?
No, I fall down things.
Were you
Looking
shot?
up and you just-
No, I know it's
Looking up the birds.
it's usually falling down mountain sides. Because I've noticed as I get older, I'm less agile and I bounce less. That's what we call it.
You're less bouncy.
I used to be very bouncy, like you'd fall and get up,
Yes.
and now you fall down,
You're great.
and then it's kind of a day under, and then you're done doing it for the day.
Yeah.
Instead of just keep doing what you're doing. So. I know.
Ever?
I got a concussion once, but I've never been never blown
That's what I do the other side.
or anything like that.
I've
feel
had
like you-
3 ACLs.
See, that's the hard part when you start like
Yeah.
doing a job like mine.
It's a lot of ACLs.
Yeah. You're like, that's
But every 15 years. So that's not so bad.
every
15,
15.
15. That's not so
I would have given.
I got a
it the first
concussion when I
one.
was patrolling in Solitude with my helmet in my locker.
You're.
No, I had decided not to wear it because it was uncomfy,
Oh.
and I was skiing, and I
Gosh.
came to at a lift,
Oh,
standing in the line. Well, I had stood in the line, and I'd gotten down on the chair, and I had just kept skiing out past the ramp, and just stopped out like past the ramp, and I woke up to the lift. He like kept yelling at me, "Get out of the way!" And I would sidestep over. Then sidestep back like I'm supposed to, but the chair is coming like head high. And so there's a gap in my memory that's specifically on the left. Starting to run, and then I'm coming to with the lippy and yelling at me to come over to the ropes, and I walked over
that is
and
intense.
she's like, "Do you feel?" I don't think so. And I was feeling my cap was all packed with snow, and my goggles were over my head.
And you're like,
And I was
well.
like, I don't know, ow! I to this day don't have that.
That's none of your business. So there's something about that you're not supposed to remember.
They let me drive home on the
Charge.
Oh, boy.
The patrollers.
It's a great
No,
question,
you probably
miss.
shouldn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can. Okay, here's the form. This was like it had to be like
No,
99.
she works in the,
Yeah, down the county
she works in
there's
finance, she
somebody
works in the
else's
grants department.
Yeah, my logic at the time
In the
was to
grants
really, I
department,
had
so all
heard
the
of so many
medical
times
grants
get
that
shot
come
pretty much
Yeah, she
anyway.
works on the financial side.
So, yeah, and you know, you've been
doing it every day.
They're on
Trust all
there.
We were talking about it because
Pretty
it's
much has
like,
no rise.
like,
A little cheap.
she has something to do with him, it's probably like a research
Oh,
or
yeah.
something, you know.
What's funny is I remember going home and I went.
Oh, it is
and I was like,
Dawn.
okay. And I remember going to get something on my fridge and missing a couple of times.
Oh.
It's weird. Like missing the handle
This
of
is
the
Yeah.
door.
doing to this.
Yeah, like I reach out to pull the handle.
Like the
Coming up
perception.
empty.
That's a great question, Missy.
Love ski.
Right?
Because I feel like you can do that like at a certain level. Because like we know people of the series are like the 70s club and stuff like that. There's a big group of people like over 70s. Like it's something they can keep doing.
Yeah,
Until they can't.
until they
Well, you know
can,
what? I'm pretty,
until you're,
pretty sure I could drink beer like that. Because very old.
Absolutely.
On the weekends.
see,
Yeah,
You'd be sad if
you.
Get to that. Ski today.
I was just telling you guys, my mom's 82 and this was the first season she hasn't skied because she had this oxygen thing and she didn't want to wear the backpack with the thing.
mm,
And
Oh.
so now it's March and she's like, oh, I didn't ski this year. It's a mistake. It's like, you might have to wear it, like, get over the vanity and everything.
it depends what you want,
My
yeah.
dad's the same way. He
What's
doesn't
more
do
important?
stuff. The little movie is because he gets it. But he wears it, he takes it off to walk to the car.
Right.
Into the movie. The
Right.
movie puts it on.
I know. I don't know what's going on with these people. I'm like, don't you want to live? Like,
Where are these
But
girls
don't
trying to
weird.
impress that?
Is it that weird?
You're,
I'm glad that you're in them.
I'm glad you're 80. Yeah, exactly. You're 80. You're trying to pick up the wrong.
Turn on about your.
That seems like the bigger one.
Yeah, you know, that's what I mean, like, I mean, you know, 50 years, but you know.
She's okay with you wearing it. Oh,
She'd have pulled the shoe long ago if she was 50.
all right, let's get started.
All right.
All right. Hi, I'm Jen.
Hello?
But I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves because you're the new faces.
I am Jackie. I do events and marketing for Crawford Brewing Company.
Awesome.
And I am Randon. I'm the general manager for the brew house and the burger restaurant.
Amazing. Well, welcome.
Our colleague Colin, who had a job recently, who mentioned this thing. Yep.
And I'm sure Andrew's been getting emails for years, but he never shared them with us. So we're here now.
Oh, yeah, we'll make sure that we get your contact.
We'll do.
And we try not to spam anything, but what you'll hear from us. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. I think we can start with just some updates. Dawn, are you looking at the screen like that because you can't hear us? Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. We have a pretty hefty topic agenda today because we're going to talk about how Midtown is shifting. But before we do that, I would like to give everyone an opportunity who has updates or would like or has questions for Miles or Tony or Liz to be able to get that in. Green is Matt note taker, who is and Stacy. Matt is a community member who will be joining our meeting, but he's joining virtually today with his note taker. And then the other one is just the Gmail note taker. Yeah. Hi, Stacy.
No.
Okay. Well, Tony, Liz, Miles, any of you want to go first with any updates or if any of you have questions for any of them?
Yeah, it's good to see everyone. I'll go first real quick. So my name is Miles Bitsy. It says on the screen Ezra, so I apologize. I guess you guys get really mad at me. That's my my first name, so you can call me Ezra if there's any frustration or whatever. But I go by Miles. A big emphasis that we're working on, we have these cards, right? And it's kind of hard to see. Basically, what the card says is that a Salt Lake City police officer was here to check the premise, right? So on your guys' businesses, or if you see any of these, it's just a Salt Lake City police officer that stopped by, checked the area, did an area check, and he left that on the business or on a car or something like that, right? On the back is a QR code, right? And it'll take you to a link and you can fill out a survey about services or things we need to improve on or anything like that. So if you see these, that's what that's about. That's kind of what I wanted to touch on with everyone, this card, because they're starting to pop up. And I have had people ask about it, like, what is this? And so I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of touch on that tonight. As far as everything else has been pretty good, right? I want to say that we're kind of smooth, we're kind of transitioning out of the winter to kind of the warmer months, but you never know. It's unpredictable. But I just want to give the reminder though, as it warms up, we see an increase with our homeless population, right? Camping out camps, just places where they probably shouldn't be. We do have a lot of resources for them. So if there's anything specific or you guys need help with anything, please send me an email, and we'll get that started right away. So. That's all I got for tonight, but it is good to see everyone. And like I said, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know, okay?
Does anyone have anything for Miles?
Miles, with that card, are they going to be left at businesses if someone like reports something and you guys come out to see stuff, or are they just there if you're doing outreach?
It's kind of like an outreach. Like I'm parked in front of our church right now, and so I'm doing it's called a property check, right? When I'm done with my property check, if no one was here, I would just leave that on the front, right? Because even if there was no problems or anything at all, they could still go to that survey and it'll kind of just give us information on how we can better help them with any issues they are experiencing. Does that make sense?
It does, but what would take you to the church for a property check?
So this church that I'm at right now, so they also provide, during Code Blues, they provide shelters for homeless individuals, right? So this church specifically, they have problems with homeless individuals setting up camps behind their electric boxes. So that's why I'm here kind of checking the property, just making sure things are on check. So any problems at all, right? It's kind of fluid and like where it's always kind of changing, but every business kind of has different issues they experience. Does that answer your question?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you pick those properties? Sorry, it's me.
Good to see you.
Like, is it random or is it based on data that gets reported to the app, or
It's just random. Like sometimes you'll see police officers walking around Pioneer Park. Sometimes you'll see officers in different places, right? It's just kind of just more of an outreach, trying to just be more of a police presence, right? Or if they see something that is a potential threat or a potential problem, like maybe there's a business that didn't leave their door or left it unlocked or something like that. They put, oh, property check conducted right here. We noticed this or we observed this, right? Something like that, right? But it's mostly kind of an outreach just to kind of give a bigger police presence.
cool, thanks.
Yeah, you bet. Great questions.
Okay.
If there's nothing else, like I'll be here. I'm gonna turn my camera off, and if you need something, just let me know.
Cool. Thank
Okay?
you.
Good to see everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Yep, no problem.
I can, oh, I don't have much, I checked our logs, we haven't had any unique, fire behavior incidents, arson, anything like that in the area lately. Somebody had a question about a particular incident. Had a chance to go over Dr. Babb this month, talking about business licensing and kind of how that process works, with that licensing, how that process works. And in my office, for the challenges with, EABC local consent and stuff, how to make that easier. Stuff we bought. Probably. It was more what the anticipate. Things you can do with fans. A whole bunch of city departments see that. And that gets routed to. I just one of those. Way to work. It's kind of fun. And so, fires and fires. And that, we're not holding it up. Followed up somewhere else, and we never see it, so then if there's corrections and tweaks that need to be made, I got held up earlier in the process, and then EABC is specifically told us, like, if you guys can't see it and give it a consent 2 weeks out, then, like, they specifically told us, don't even look at it. Because we're not going to approve it, because even if you guys approve it, we don't get 2 weeks in advance. We're not going to approve it, so we don't need the extra paperwork of saying no. But look at the dates. If the event isn't at least 2 weeks away, they tell us not to do it. Now, different people have different home with the ABC, so we do them anyway. Because then it's kind of on the applicant. I mean, I don't, you know,
Yeah.
it seems with the ABC. Well, the ABC is kind of trying to make the city's process look like the bad guy a little bit, and so I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
it's different people, man. So it tends to be sometimes a little bit of over there.
You did say that you guys were working on trying to get like a checklist from the fire like ahead of time. Was that right?
Yeah, on some of this, on those are pretty straightforward. I think my big issue that would apply to some here is those are really fast, almost just like an automatic checklist. If where you're doing events, if you're going to do events, I brought this up in the past. If you're going to do events fairly frequently and you're not already in assembly occupancy, you can be more than one thing. You can be a Gap clothing store and an assembly occupancy. Just the retail clothing store, so you're doing it occasionally, then you have to go through the whole review every time you event. So if you're going to do events, it's great. A lot of places are trying to activate their spaces kind of non-traditional ways, run for a furniture store or something else. Go get that official assembly occupancy designation from the department. Because then really when it comes across our desk, they're already in occupancy and it's literally a pull it up. Instead of having to review a package
Every time.
Yeah. So we can say they're already in assembly. They just don't happen to have standing with them. So they're doing it through. And,
Yeah.
but then we're already set up. They've already been through that process. It has the big stamp, there's a number, an occupancy number on it. How many occupancies you have?
Yeah.
It's that or one less. Check box. So that we really and people don't really get that process, and they anytime they're doing anything, it serves alcohol.
Yeah.
So we kind of wrote that a bit. And I got to the planning commission that night. So what going was hopefully it turns out still. All right, I think I told. I saw the peak of the Sears block. That came up.
That was you. I was wondering who said that.
No.
No, that
So
came
now
up.
he's telling us.
Now it was out, and we talked about it yesterday in construction coordination meetings. So like, still know.
I didn't get to see any rent or anything.
Say.
Hey, they're
Still knows now. Yeah, and so it's they're gonna have issues in permitting in the city with their scattering. But it looks like it's moving forward. Randy?
Brandy is not here.
Oh.
Oh, from community relations.
Community relations, she's not on our board, but we brought her in when they bought the block because we had big plans for that whole bunch. And we were about.
The highlights I saw, and just take the other department, pretty happy with that, with the amount of open space. Block, people capture the open space block. getting two structures with street facing retail and State Street side of cut out and a food truck work area covered. And that was the other takeaway was too high.
As expected.
Yeah, but they're kind of in the block. They're not like up against. They kind of move things around where possible. And really, at no point did they push them out on the edges of the parcel. They were always kind of in the park.
They built a retail moat around their high rises. Is that what?
Yeah, the high rises, green space, a big typical hospital, big U driveway again along the south end. The green space on the corner. Parking across the street.
Very excited to see these renderings.
So they're kind of out there. They did move stuff around.
Yeah.
I mean, we get into code.
Parking across the street, like on the State Street side, like where?
No, it's on the Main Street side.
Was that, yeah.
Yeah, because they're moving the LDS hospital, essentially, right?
Yeah, decommissioning.
Yeah. So that one has two parking structures.
Yeah.
Right.
Good luck.
It is moving forward, so I'm just we'll have to the east, we'll have to find a new place to lay their eggs. Okay. Yeah.
The goal?
Yeah.
Kidding.
So, you know, we have upgrades that are necessary and stuff.
Are they going down? Parking.
No, especially because I think they simply don't.
So they're just going sideways to the.
That was it. If I remember right. There's no architectural plan, but.
In name only.
Yeah.
Who? Sorry. Oh. We look forward to
Other
seeing
than
it.
that, that's.
Just a couple of things on, our economic development loan fund application process right now. Our cost more is, loans up to $100,000 for startups and then $350 for the reviews. And then I can't remember if I talked about this before, but our business advisory board started a business district subcommittee. So that'll be shared into the couple and then talk about so yeah, we're just talk a little bit more at the department about school business districts and what we can do a little bit with it. Special advisory, just like a company, so yeah, more about that tonight.
Share now.
Sure.
Share with the kids would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I thought that was Scott. Where's Scott?
He is out of that position now. So but
Okay.
he's
He's
on
on the.
the
Oh.
committee, and the advisory board.
Yeah, he stepped up more at Sugar House, so I'm.
All the days.
Yeah. That one will actually happen.
Yeah. Cool. It's all you.
Well, I guess, basically, and I don't know how familiar you guys are being new here. First off, I'm Isaac Tempio, co-owner of Salt Lake Farmer Company and the Culture Talk. Also on Salt Lake City Business Advisory Board.
I don't think the mic is working.
Can
It's still not
anyone hear us?
working. It's still not working.
We can't hear you.
This started with
Yes.
20.
Now we can hear you.
Now, yes?
Yeah, Isaac, you guys start all over again.
You're okay. But you can't hear me? I don't have to like speak extra loud? This is okay?
Now we can hear you, yes.
Okay,
It was just totally out.
perfect. All right, so yeah, starting back, basically, to just kind of share, Midtown started with the idea of championing kind of this geographic area as an arts and entertainment district, and really trying to amplify kind of that vibe throughout kind of what we had going on. There's a lot of development, breweries, all sorts of stuff here. Ultimately, what was the food hall that Safa was going to do over here? I mean, so lots of things. Once COVID hit, and then ultimately Sears came in and bought a property that was going to essentially be the linchpin area in which we kind of centered a lot of the activity that we were aiming to get going in the area on. Midtown had kind of stepped up in that time, kind of trying to figure out our stance on where we were with everything. Stepped up and actually stepped up to the IHC development there, and we're able to kind of get them to give certain concessions in a building agreement, development
agreement.
Yeah, development agreement.
City council.
Yeah, so all the things Tony just mentioned that they do have in their rendering,
Yeah.
exactly.
Legislation, not for stuff on the walls of an ambulance. Right.
Development of SLC, we've been following it closely.
cool.
We just didn't know about,
Yeah,
this piece of the puzzle. So
yeah,
I've heard that people have been going back and forth, and now we see the people.
yeah.
These are the
So
people.
thank you.
It was
Yeah.
literally this group,
Yeah.
for the most part, that were able to kind of step up and bend the ear of city council to the point of getting them to actually sit at the table and agree to these things that we wanted. And that was kind of, I think, where we as a group decided to start shifting our focus and understand that like we can, we have a very driven group of people that are interested in doing good things for the city. And what we've done here is kind of limit ourselves now that this area is not kind of going in that direction any longer, that we're able to kind of say, well, we can kind of aim these same focuses to businesses across the city, and with a collective voice, we can really, get through to people that probably hear otherwise. And so ultimately, in the last few meetings that we've had, we've kind of just started discussing kind of what this opportunity could look like, what we all kind of want and see Midtown becoming. And between kind of our last meeting, which was 2 months ago now, to today, a few of us have kind of sat down, put our heads together, and really started fleshing out what a framework could look like for a coalition that way.
Citywide.
Yeah, citywide, and ultimately trying to really create something that is replicatable or replicable, not just in our city, but kind of nationwide. The idea being that ultimately lawmakers are more willing, it seems, to listen to a group of business owners than they are to a voting constituent, and ultimately getting our collective voice to make a difference where it can. And so.
And we met with economic development 3 months ago.
Yeah, a couple.
December.
Yeah, so 2 months ago, essentially.
To say, we have this idea. It would be Salt Lake City, not South Salt Lake, not like it's Salt Lake City, with thousands and thousands of businesses. There's only so much we can wrangle. Yes. But we can put this framework that Isaac has made, which is masterful, into play with the right people at the table. And Lorena and Colin said, great idea, go for it. So now we're here today to kind of, we're basically disbanding Midtown.
Yeah, I think that's part of the main agenda today, is really just sit and say that I think what Midtown has been is just kind of hit the end of its road. And now we're kind of shifting focus into the next part of this whole journey. And saying that next month, we're going to sit and meet and put together a steering committee with city officials, economic development, city council. Yep.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, we've definitely got a number of people kind of on the agenda. And then, kind of throwing that invite, not to kind of every business out there, but a handful of businesses. And since you're here, we'd love to, make sure that you are on that invite. But next month, March 31st, here at Maven in the big room, kind of out here,
Yeah, nice.
is
And we'll make sure you're on the
yep,
list too.
is when we're going to meet and really kind of try to now get a room full of people, present the framework that we've essentially come up with, and really get an idea of where this sits and how we could next take this from an idea into action. Something that I think we've struggled with, and this is now kind of aimed at the group as a whole, but something we've struggled with Midtown in general. And I think it's not just the struggle of Midtown, but most city councils, most community councils, most business districts, getting the buy-in, and where, we as business owners, business folks, having the capacity to actually sit down, do the work, and make something happen month over month. It can be kind of tough, especially on a voluntary basis. And so the idea being is, how do we overcome that hurdle of just kind of constantly spinning wheels and making action happen? We've proven that it can be very effective when a group of people come together. I think that in food and beverage in particular, there's been a few different coalitions that have tried to sprout up over the time. The Utah Hospitality, I don't remember the exact coalition there, but I did just hear today that somebody is resurrecting it. That they've hired a lobbyist at this point and are trying to kind of get that going as well. But just because you've hired a lobbyist doesn't mean that effort is going to go anywhere. And so, what was that?
It's almost the end of the session.
Yeah, exactly. And so really trying to figure out how to build this into kind of a self-driving machine. And again, I do think that the framework we've kind of come up with to this point, which we'll kind of share in depth over the next meeting, lays out how this can all work very well. And it's just a matter of really kind of now getting it up and going. Getting it organized.
Yeah, I think to what Isaac said, we have been very successful when we have a specific project or specific goal, right? Everybody is very willing to step up and show up. And what we have found is engagement has been fairly low outside of that, because it is hard to ask business owners to just show up and help, right? We want a specific ask of here's what we're looking at here, right? And everybody has a different capacity or a different interest. The other thing I think that we've identified is that even though all of these community organizations and councils and business districts and organizations exist, there's very little translation in how information is passed, right? It is, if you happen to stay in the know, or if you happen to be connected with people who are willing to share information, right? Otherwise, everybody kind of gets in these little silos and bubbles. And with Isaac being on that, and we're all just connected in different ways, that we thought if Midtown can help serve as a point where all of that information is getting floated out there, people can connect to what they need to, and then we also then have a collective voice for when people are bringing community issues in to say, hey, we really want to harness the power of this collective voice, and then go after those things. So we're
I
really,
really called it in the beginning, the
Nope.
missing middle.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got community councils. I know, Jackie, I can use the acronym.
I know, I'm just saying. It's fine, everything's fine.
She said no.
Missing middle. Personally, I mean, I have a public in the avenues, I have a public on 99th, I have a public downtown, I have one by you. I didn't even know there was a BAB. I didn't know what the BAB was until.
What is the BAB?
So it's,
Yeah, see?
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
I was like, what?
It was really good. I wasn't familiar. I knew of it, but I didn't know
and
exactly
been
the
around
venue,
for
and I
like
went over there and it's a great meeting.
12 years?
I couldn't even tell you that myself. I mean, I was invited by Economic Development Park, but it's, yeah, it's the city's business advisory board, so.
Businesses don't know what it
Did you
is.
know that the city had a business advisory board?
I didn't.
Yeah, see, that's what we know.
Well, I think this is what, part of what Colin was talking about when we
Yeah.
happened to run into him at a family gathering, and he was like, hey,
Should get
actually, there's been a lot of talk around
Yeah.
businesses needing to know about these kinds of things. And so,
Yeah.
Their businesses, there's the Economic Development and Business Advisory Board, and then this new coalition is the missing middle. Isaac calls it a coalition of coalitions. You can do that acronym as you like.
Is that what Isaac called it, or is that what Missy
He
called it?
called it a coalition of coalitions. He wrote it on the board, and I was like, oh, we're the.
Coalition of coalitions.
We are.
I got it. Yeah.
And Tony said, I can't be involved. You call it.
You won't call it.
Okay.
You got approval.
Yeah.
No,
You're like that Missy Grace, so you named it something.
no.
Missy, and then nobody will be
Go
surprised.
forward and be
Yes.
And they'll be like, no one is surprised that that's what Missy named
No,
it.
yeah,
I
no, really.
wrote it on the board. I'm
They
just
all
saying.
kind of went.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the missing middle piece
Yeah.
is this to be named coalition
Right. And ultimately, again, just to kind
for
of
Salt Lake City.
reiterate what Jen said, the idea being that, between low, and I don't want to say low level, but at the lowest level, like city count, or excuse me, community councils, whether they're business related or not, being able to kind of funnel information up and down from that level, city level, and then, being able to then use that information to get in front of the legislature, get in front of city council and mayor's office, stuff like that when needed. And being able to activate in mass, when it is needed. Also, on that point, to then kind of be able to build a trusted resource network. So that way, there's some benefit on top of just being able to activate a bunch of people, actually being able to share those resources, whether it's vendors, contractors, insurance brokers. I mean, anything that really is something where we know and can trust and vet people and share it in mass as well. But ultimately then to kind of, lend our voice to, the business advisory board when needed, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's something that is just needed, everywhere. Salt Lake is where we're at. It's where we can kind of test and prove, but ultimately, what we're building is something that can be a way to get voices heard and heard effectively.
And we have, so Angela Price, do you know her? She's
I have to speak a little louder.
policy for Salt Lake City, so she's always up on the.
Missy's using her inside voice.
What?
You have to speak loud enough for those people.
Oh,
Don't forget about the virtual people.
I was just telling our guests, so Angela Price, who's the director of policy for Salt Lake City, when she heard about this.
Hi, Jay.
Brandy, when she heard about this, she was like, yes, please, because I can go up there as me, but if I bring 50 of you, I can say to the state, this is what's happening in your capital city, like, you need to listen. So it's great.
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
Awesome.
Hi, we're doing a steering committee meeting on March 31st. You're gonna be, and you're
She
gonna,
was, she was
oh,
on
and you're gonna be
until
there.
she got here. I'm gonna be there.
Sure.
Okay. You will be there.
You need to name it, you need to name
I hope
the
you
new
are.
group.
Brady can be in charge of naming the new group.
That
Oh,
seems like a better idea.
The three of them have been have been fired from the naming
Well, I
committee.
mean, after the last meeting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's stuck.
Oh, no,
I just wanted
it's
two
not.
of you. My meeting.
I know.
my
See?
meeting.
See how I didn't-
It's no longer
Wasn't me.
Midtown.
All right.
Coalition of coalitions.
Yeah.
Glad we were here for the end and the beginning.
Yes.
What do you do with the sweatshirts that you wear?
TOC.
Yeah. It's a little early.
It was an A and then.
You should know before you buy merch. Sign off on the name.
First time Midtown ever has
Chief,
merch.
told you you could
Right.
participate. We're going.
So, I mean, that's what I have. And just to say that the work that's been put into kind of creating the framework, I'm pretty excited about where we're at, pretty excited to present it. And I think it's going to be a great start to what we got going on. So,
We open it up. Some questions?
yeah, I mean, questions or concerns, comments, love to answer. And
Yeah.
any feedback, I mean, obviously, there's nothing that I'm presenting at this moment to anybody, but any questions or feedback that you could give that I could kind of take and implement into what I got going on. I'll leave kind of Jen to moderate that part.
Oh, no, and also like if there are any like questions or concerns about us disbanding Midtown in its current iteration, I think we talked about this at the last meeting and I think we addressed some of those concerns. Midtown itself, I know that there's a naming controversy, but I don't know if we may just DBA and hold on to Midtown and its nonprofit designation right now until we get a little more organized and figure out where we really need to be. So we've held on to our RCO standing and all of those things for now. But does anyone have any questions or concerns about Midtown being reformed or changing the mission and focus? Okay,
Shaking his head, no.
good. Don speaks for everyone.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to be in charge.
I know.
Don, you name it.
Oh, we could put Don in charge of
You're a
naming.
third grade teacher. You can do it appropriately.
Oh yeah, it needs to be third grade appropriate. Okay, and then I'll open the floor to any questions or concerns, or Isaac shaking his head, but for anything for what Isaac presented today, or questions in prep for next meeting, if there's anything that you guys would like to see. Isaac's put a lot of work into some beginning framework that I think I'm sure he'll be tweaking over the next month, but
It's really good.
it's really good. And we really appreciate the time that he's put in to spearhead it. Anyone?
I had a couple questions.
Yeah.
So are you envisioning small business coalition mostly, or?
Yeah, I'd say the aim is kind of small to medium businesses, and medium being on the medium small side of things, definitely kind of omitting, any large business kind of from that. The idea of being able to kind of fight corporate interests is.
So no.
Yeah. I mean, but obviously,
They're a nonprofit.
yeah, she's like, and now I have my free time. Yeah, exactly.
I'll just,
I think my head's low and go home.
no.
But ultimately, yeah, and local, correct, yeah, and again, kind of to start with this, we're looking at kind of focusing in on Salt Lake City proper, not necessarily any countywide efforts, at least at this point in time.
Where does Salt Lake City end and South Salt Lake begin?
Depends on how far south or east or west you go.
Okay.
21, basically 2,700 south.
Okay.
Like,
But that's
significant amount of
first
jogging.
incorporated
Yeah.
city, right? And then Mill Creek,
Right.
like if you go further east. But other
Yeah,
than that,
east.
and then
When you get
north
further
Salt
east,
Lake,
you kind of
right?
get 3,300 south for a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of drifts back to 27.
Okay.
And then I know you mentioned
Districts.
like specific causes, do you all have kind of your eye on specific causes you want to tackle first? I'm just kind of curious about like what you might be organizing around in that area.
Yeah, I think I'd love to share kind of what I've got put together with you, if you're cool with that, and then get some of your feedback on it. That'd probably be the easiest way to go about it. But yes, I mean, ultimately, some of the things that I've kind of given examples of and I just kind of updated this, shared with these guys today, using even like South Salt Lake just recently implemented like a transit fee that is aimed at businesses versus residents, stuff like that, to kind of improve road work, stuff like that. You know, not saying that that's specifically what we're looking at, you know, targeting, but it's an example of something that was implemented and put on businesses without really doing a great job at reaching out to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think again with like big development, looking at how we can work together to make sure that between leases that come up in that and making sure that there's, you know, an affordable pathway for local owned businesses to kind of set up in these places. You know, any sort of legislation that kind of touches on that stuff. Sorry, my brain feels like mush today.
I mean, I think that there's an important piece of not just being able to translate information, but also help communities understand the impact, right? So something like the transit fee that I would believe that the city believes they communicated really well, and then having that sort of kind of backlash from business owners who, whether they knew about it or not, right? That's like that first like notification and acknowledgement level, but also understanding how the impact is and how businesses can prepare for that, right? Or how those decisions were made. Because I do think that sort of like transparency and communication, which is very hard to scale without partner organizations, helps with all of that, right? Like I think someone like South Salt Lake is not opposed to the growth of their communities, whether it's on the business or residential side, but they have this particular issue lends itself to set themselves up as a combative issue versus like this is meant to propel the growth or whatever it might be. And so it then feels like businesses against the city versus like city supporting the businesses and the businesses being able to contribute and prepare to do those things, making informed decisions for themselves.
We don't want to be a great complaint department. We don't want to get around the table and just have a big gripe fest about all the things going wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely want to be more solution based.
And collaborative, right?
Access to resources is a really big deal because again, we have this location down here, we have one up in Sugar House, and just the construction has been crushing.
Yes.
And knowing about the availability of grants and funds and things like that was not super easy at either location.
Yeah.
We definitely had to do a lot of work to get there. So making things like that known and available even before it happens. Have a lot of value.
And there's another example that I've been using, which I thought was really cool. So when they put in all the metered parking downtown, I believe transportation and everybody thought that they were talking to the businesses, but they didn't do it in a way where after it was installed, a business on Second South brought it to their attention that if you're going to put this metered parking in front of our space, you have no 10 or 15 minute increment for someone that wants to run in and run out.
Yeah.
So they don't come here anymore. So we brought that to Lorena's attention, where economic development could go back and be like, hey, each of these meters needs a 10 or 15 minute, 50 cent. Rather than $3.50
for an hour
to spend 4 minutes to go in and out when you're buying something that's $10.
Precisely.
So that kind of communication, that's what we hope businesses bring, those little, big and little things.
Yes.
But also like you presented to the BAB on DABS stuff, I'm wondering if any of us would ever hear about that, because we've never heard from them. I've never received.
Well, and they don't
any
go over things like that in the monthly DABS meetings. They just tell you how many licenses are available and who got busted for what. They don't tell you
And-
about
Yeah.
options or things they're
Right.
changing or anything that'll make your life better or worse. That's not what they say at all in those. So.
Yeah, so I think that other piece that you're talking about, that resource or that communication is how, I mean, I think businesses are so often left to have to coordinate, right, all the separate city
Yeah.
departments, right? And if you're fortunate enough to have good city contacts or have a good resource that can walk you through it or whatever that, then, or know another business owner that is like, yeah, we did it or, right?
Yeah.
But so what is the real life application for hosting an event? Can we get the business owners or the community to understand like what those pieces are?
And can we use a collective voice to try to help change it
Change
for
it.
a more streamlined process?
Right, yeah, so I think, and these are just all the real life pain points, right, that you run into. And
And
then
we
you don't,
realize we're gonna have to, think of it like a website with lots of tabs, right? We're going to have multiple, is it construction resource? Is it licensing resource? Is it what grant? and
Yeah, even like
resource?
urban forestry, right? Like
Right.
planting trees on the front of your
Right.
business. or
Right.
whatever.
Required
Yeah.
versus, right?
And being able to help like point to the right, like city department, we shouldn't have to take over the city's job to,
yeah, we don't
do
protect
something
Tony,
like
we just
that,
give
yeah.
out his number.
yeah.
Like free.
Well, I think I brought that up before. I mean, that's sort of the point
Yeah, that
of this
is the-
organization, right? Like, if you look around the
That is the-
table and online,
Right,
everybody nobody here knows the director of every city department.
no,
But
yeah,
Somebody.
Around the table,
everybody. knows
somebody
someone.
here could know,
Yeah.
between everybody knows
Right.
probably the director of every
And
city
Tony would love
department.
it if we flyed the city with
And,
his.
like
number.
urban forestry, you're having to like Tony Gelato would be happy to take a phone call from you and like explain it to you, like the guy can talk trees. Whatever.
Love that.
It's weird, but you know what I mean, but sometimes it's hard to get up the chain, like the actual director of
I
urban.
learned that department existed like 5 years ago. I was completely unaware of it.
Yeah.
until then.
And
So-
they, and when I worked in the development space, I figured out that urban forestry actually swings a pretty big stick in the city because there's a lot of ordinances requiring urban forestry. It's been priority of the city. And so there's a lot of ordinance. They have, whether it be development or redevelopment or streetscapes and stuff like that. And now, like Tony will talk to anybody that calls him for an hour, but you got to get to like, oh, I'm trying to get, that whole thing. I don't need to talk to urban forestry. I need to talk to Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the city mobile. It's not, and so that would be nice to be able to have a group that you can call and be like, does the coalition know anybody in urban forestry? Oh yeah, Tony Gillett, the director here, just phone him. What an invaluable resource for small and medium businesses.
Well, we really appreciate you letting us crash this meeting. I think the
Yeah.
timing is interesting to have two new faces sitting down. But we're just very interested in starting to be involved, be a resource, be a voice. But for me, mostly, I just here to learn and to discover some stuff. So thanks for taking some time. Through the years on Zoom calls and different things with Slara, and there was a lot of help updates going through COVID. I was GM of Red Rock Downtown at the time, so it's interesting. It's a lot of familiar faces. So it's nice to get to be in the room with you and hear what's on your mind. And so I know I don't have a lot of questions per se today, but I am starting to see some of the connections that I need to make and that we need to make. And I would love to start to follow up with all of you on an individual basis with some questions. And my education doesn't need to come at the expense of turning a meeting into a seminar.
That's great. It's great for us to practice what we're trying to build.
Okay,
And we
absolutely.
need to make, so.
We've been in a silo.
I have some
building it right
ideas,
now.
but I need to run them, see what's been
Well,
trademarked.
yeah.
What's it- Oh, you can be on the name committee.
Michelle Crigliano is on the RSVP to come on the 31st.
Okay,
We
excellent.
have her,
Yeah, we participate. We do Visit Salt Lake. We do Slara. We do all of the things that we can, but like, we're not part of the Downtown SLC Alliance because we're
Because you're
2
outside
blocks
it,
further south than that,
And
which
I
is
don't think any
fine.
of us are in that.
But it is nice to,
Okay.
again, have the coalition
One
of
of you are-
coalitions that
No.
finally brings them all together. So, yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone online?
Stacy?
Nope,
I know it's
I don't have anything. No questions.
I think the only thing that just reminded me of when you guys were talking about SLARA is that I know we've been talking about city and community council, but the other thing is we've invited some chambers and industry groups because we feel like that's kind of this is the match of all of that.
The Black Chamber, the LGBTQ Chamber.
We're members of that one.
Asian Chamber. Downtown Alliance coming with Kristen Lavalette, who used to run Local First.
Okay.
She works at Downtown Alliance now, so she'll be there. Michelle. There are many community councils that don't have a business subcommittee. That's where we're running into a little bit of a problem. So, I think 5 of the 7 city council members will be sending their liaisons. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it is like the avenues.
Yeah, I mean, Tim's not technically.
And then there's nothing.
So, yeah. You can do it. Yeah, he's, I think, C5 and full city. I'm like, you know, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, that's for the record.
We try to make the good one because
I have to- I don't
Randy goes all
know.
over.
I don't know.
Stay here. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to break up anybody's conversation, but I want to make sure. This is my. I just got a glimpse of the student that you were, like the elementary school kid you were.
I didn't go to school.
I
I was skiing.
I don't want to break up anyone's conversation. We are welcome to stay and talk. I just want to make sure that we covered everything that everybody needs addressed.
Yep.
And
Do you have any other questions, Liz?
No. I guess, do you have folks from the mayor's office invited?
Yeah, we were
Any of
just
the
talking
liaisons?
about that.
All the city council liaisons, 5 have responded yes, 2 have not responded at all.
Have you worked with
But no
Kim
mayor.
Cosgrove's folks that are from the mayor's liaisons group?
No.
So the mayor's office has
Their own liaison.
their own
Yeah.
liaisons, and it's a whole team.
Yes.
And Tim is the head of them, and he acts as one.
Tim come.
I think
He's
it would be
interesting.
nice to have
Be a good,
Tim come to an original one. He's
Yeah.
great, and if he needed to
then he can
assign
delegate
somebody to
from
do it, or he may just,
Okay.
I don't know how Tim makes his decisions.
He's a great.
He goes
He is
to,
a great-
he goes to a lot of stuff, and he is really good.
Liz,
You're gonna help. You have to.
do you think you and I?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
And then you can,
I'll, like CCU.
yeah, copy me. I don't think you need to copy these guys yet, because I'll just keep the list going.
Yeah, Missy's
That would be
the peer organizer for right now.
You're the outreach.
Outreach.
subcommittee
Um,
Director.
Okay. I think that wraps up the official agenda then. I will send out more information about the meeting on the 31st, but it's currently held at the same time the Midtown would be March 31st, 5:30 to 7. We'll just be in the big room because it's a thing.
Make it happen.
Yeah. We will likely do in person only that day just to try to keep it wrangleable. And all of you are in charge of bringing some name ideas. That's it. Thanks, everyone. Feel free to-
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm gonna take it. Yeah. Bye, thanks, guys. Oh, everyone's gone. Okay.